Warning. This video contains disturbing visuals and audio that may be distressing. Viewer discretion is advised. Watch at your own risk.
2006. Children are disappearing. One by one, they vanish from the slums of Nithari, a small settlement shadowed by towering bungalows. Their parents, desperate and frantic, plead with the authorities, but the police dismiss them. They must have run away, they say. It happens. But it wasn't just happening. Inside house number D5, something sinister lurked. A nightmare waiting to be uncovered. December 29th, 2006. The smell of decay was thick in the air when authorities finally decided to check the drain behind the house of Maninder Singh Pander, a wealthy businessman. What they found would scar them for life. The first skull emerged, tangled in rotting debris. Then another, and another. A wave of nausea overtook the officers as they pulled body parts, dismembered limbs, decayed torsos, brittle bones, out of the muck. Some bodies had no heads. Some skulls had deep cuts, marks of monstrous brutality. The forensic teams counted remains, at least 19 bodies, mostly children. Their lives stolen by an unfathomable evil. The nation recoiled in horror. At the heart of this darkness were two men, Maninder Singh Pander, the privileged, well-connected businessman, and his servant, Surinder Kohli, the butcher behind the bloodshed. Kohli confessed to the most unspeakable crimes. He lured children with sweets and money. He strangled them, their small, helpless bodies struggling in vain. He mutilated their corpses, chopping them apart piece by piece. And then, in a revelation so vile it shook the country, he ate them. Yes, he cooked and consumed human flesh. He admitted to necrophilia, violating the bodies before dismembering them. A monster hiding in plain sight. And Pander? Did he know? Did he indulge in this horror? Or simply turn a blind eye? That remains one of the chilling questions still unanswered. For months, the parents of the missing children begged for help. Their cries were ignored. Their missing reports gathered dust. The police, those meant to protect, mocked them, laughed at them, dismissed them. Would the case have been ignored if the missing children were from wealthy families? If they had not been from the slums? The silence of the authorities allowed the horror to continue. Child after child, scream after scream. Until finally, one family refused to be ignored. A missing maid's parents pressured the police hard. And that's when the truth spilled out from the drains of Noida. The courtroom was packed. The horror of Nithari had captivated the nation. Surinder Kohli was sentenced to death in 2009. His crimes were deemed beyond redemption. Maninder Singh Pander was initially acquitted in some cases, but later, justice caught up with him too. Multiple death sentences were handed to Kohli, each appeal denied, his fate sealed. But justice came too late for the children who had suffered unspeakable fates within those walls. The house at Nithari no longer stands. It was demolished, erased from sight, as if that could erase the horror that once unfolded there. But the people remember. To this day, parents hold their children a little closer as they walk past that cursed plot of land. The ghosts of those lost linger, their voices a whisper on the cold wind. The Noida serial murders were not just crimes. They were a warning, a lesson, that monsters do exist, that sometimes evil hides behind the walls of privilege, and that the worst horror of all is not just the crime itself, but the world that allowed it to happen. This was the story of house number D5, a house that swallowed innocence, a house that birthed nightmares, a house that will never be forgotten. Share your thought in the comment. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next episode of Secret Trails.